Hare Krishna. Let us wait for a few more minutes.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Is there any echoing or something? No problem, no? Sound is okay because I'm trying to live stream.
It's clear, Prabhuji.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagarajatan Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvikamscha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Elachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Bhalabhadra Subhadrabhyam Sri Jagannathaye Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Okam Karoti Vachalam Pandum Langayade Girim Yatkripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dhinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Hari Om Hare Krishna. So with great pleasure I welcome all devotees. After almost a 3 weeks interval, we are meeting again. So I am very happy to have all of you back. Today, of course, attendance is quite low. Hope that as the passage of time, devotees will join. Let us start the topic. We have to take up sloka number 8 today. So far, can anyone recollect what we have seen so far? Quickly summarize. 1 point on each sloka. You can rotate also. Someone can speak on sloka 1, someone on sloka 2, like that. First invocation. Invocation, can speak on that?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Can I start Prabhuji?
Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, invocation sloka is Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate.
Yeah,
So
one
this
point,
sloka,
one point
yeah,
that
this,
caught you. Yes.
yeah. It says that the supreme absolute truth is a complete whole, and all that which emanates from the supreme absolute truth is also complete in nature. And
Okay.
even though,
So Mataji, I'll ask you, I'll stop you here. Is this material world complete?
yes, Prabhuji, it is complete in itself.
How?
It has all the 24 elements required for the living entities to survive by the mercy of the Lord.
Let us be practical. There is so much scarcity, there is so much injustice, there is so much suffering. If you say this world is complete and perfect, then I suspect the capabilities of God.
Yes, Prabhuji, it is said that in this sloka that it is due to our separation from the Lord that we feel all these things to be a distress, and it is on the bodily platform, I feel, Prabhuji.
Because of the collective karmas also. Prabhuji, what comes out of Krishna is all perfect, Prabhuji. Complete.
See, completion and perfection should be understood in terms of purpose. If there is something, supposing I have created a machine and I don't know what for it is created, and I say it is perfect, it is meaningless. I give you a machine and I say this is the perfect machine, and I don't tell you what for it is there. How do you appreciate that? Or I give you a part of a machine and I say, you don't know where the part will go. How do you appreciate that part as complete?
Not possible, Prabhuji, because proper knowledge is not.
So you have to tell me why you said this material world is perfect.
It has come from God, so it must be perfect. Everything that comes from
That is too vague. Nobody will accept that. What is the purpose of this material?
It is our sense gratification. For our sense gratification, God has created this, Prabhuji, because we
No.
had different wills.
No, that's not the purpose.
To go back to Godhead, Prabhuji, to finish our karmas and go back to Godhead.
To reclaim the fallen souls, the souls that have disconnected from God. So the part has become useless by disconnecting with the main frame, right? We are all part and parcel of Krishna, but we have forgotten that connection. So this material world is created so that we can reconnect with Him. That is the purpose. So whatever happens in this world is pushing you back to God by frustrating all your efforts for sense gratification. This world is designed like that. Anyone who tries to be a master of this world will become frustrated. Anyone who tries to enjoy this world will become frustrated. Somebody may become the emperor, somebody may become a CEO, somebody may become the most famous sports star or film star or whatever you have. Ultimately, they will all be frustrated as long as they are going away from God. But the moment you turn towards God, everything begins to fall into place. So this world is perfect. The scarcity, the suffering, the lack of law and order, the crime rate, the diseases, whatever sufferings we see in this world, it is all a part of that perfection because it frustrates all those souls who try to go away from God. And all those souls try to move towards God, this world begins to cooperate with them. Correct? So if you see it from the purpose, then you can understand how perfect it is. The imperfection of this world is actually its perfection. If this world gave happiness to everybody, the sense gratifier, the godly person, or the sinner, or the saint, if everybody can live happily in this world, this will be the most imperfect creation of God. Because it's not serving the purpose of God. The purpose of God is all the souls which are part and parcel of Himself should come back to Him in a spirit of complete loving surrender, which is what will give maximum happiness to the Lord and to all the souls. That is His purpose. This material world is basically dead, correct? We say jada, dead. It's non-living. But it's a combination of souls and matter. The Lord is only interested in the souls, and He has put us into this huge machine called material world, so that we can become purified of all the dross that we have collected over so many lifetimes, and then return to Him, completely purified. Just as the Lord is pure, we also become pure, and then we are reconnecting with Him. So this world is perfect. That is the explanation. Apparently, it is imperfect, but its imperfection is part of the design. That's why I told you, unless you know the purpose, you cannot appreciate its perfection. Right? So we can understand the purpose of this world. Then we can understand why we are suffering. Okay, next. Ishavashyam Shloka. What is the
Mantra 1, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Ishavasyamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhuntita mat grida kashyasvit dhanam. Whatever we see around, both in animate and the living and non-living entities, are all part and parcels of the Lord, and He is the proprietor, not we. And whatever is given by the Lord for us to enjoy, only that we should be happy and enjoy that. And we should not claim anything other than that. Hare Krishna.
So what is the main point that catches you there?
He is the supreme. He is everything that we see around is God's property, not ours, Prabhuji.
But what
Even
about
ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Even we are the property of the Lord. So even our body also, we have to use it wisely in the service of the Lord.
The body is also His property. The soul is also His property.
Soul is also. Yes, Prabhuji.
There is separate quota for each and everyone, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So we should enjoy only that much, and we should not be greedy for others, because everybody has got his own quota set by God.
Yes. So at the end of this lifetime, everything will be taken away. So there's nothing to be proud of. Sometimes we become proud of our skill, right? Sometimes we are proud of our beauty. Sometimes we are proud of our intelligence. Sometimes we are proud of our problem-solving abilities. Sometimes we are good singers. Sometimes we are good painters. We become proud and we think it is my own. We may be detached from our wealth. Okay, this property God-given, this is God-given, like that. But when it comes to our own intrinsic skills, I might say, for example, oh, even before I came to Krishna consciousness, I was a good singer, and a lot of people would appreciate me for that. And I was a good public speaker, and many people appreciate me. I am now using my skill in the service of Krishna. Is it correct to think like that?
Yes, Prabhuji. We have to think like that, Prabhuji, as a
No.
servitor of the Lord.
No.
No, Prabhuji, whatever God gives us, we have to be happy for that, Prabhuji. That's a blessing given by the God. That's my quota.
But there is a falsity there also in this kind of thinking. Because you are thinking, before I came to Krishna consciousness, whatever I had, they are mine. Whatever I acquired after coming to Krishna consciousness, that is the blessings of Krishna. I was a good singer even before coming to Krishna consciousness. I am using that ability of mine to serve Krishna. That is wrong. It is like, see, we were, till last 3 weeks, we were in Mayapur. So we used to go to Ganga, so stand in neck deep water, then take water in both our hands, and pour the water back into Mother Ganga as our offering. What did I do?
The same water we are giving there.
Same water from Mother Ganga I picked up and taken. Same water. What kind of offering is this? It is the mood, that's all. Nothing belongs to me. So I should have that mood even while serving the Lord. That, oh, I am better than other devotees because I am giving more Lakshmi to the temple. Or I am better than other devotees because I am bringing more devotees to the temple. Or I am preaching nicely, or I am singing nicely, or I am cooking prasadam nicely. We should remember all that we are doing is taking water from Ganga and putting it back to her. Nothing is really mine. Sometimes, devotees pray that, oh God, give me a lot of money so that I can serve the temple with more money. I can give nice donations. Or we may be praying, God, give me a nice car. I can ferry devotees to the temple and back. Or God, give me nice ability to sing so that I can attract more people to you by my good singing. We don't know what is our real motive. We should, whatever we have, we should give it to the Lord. Mirabai there's a nice song written by her. It says, some people say, Mira paid too high a price to get Krishna. Some people say, Mira gave too low a price, but she got Krishna. But Mira says, she gave her everything and she got Krishna. So the point is, you surrender to Krishna and then Krishna surrenders to you. We should never have any such illusion that I had something and I surrendered it to Krishna. No, we have nothing to surrender. Everything actually belongs to him. Everything belongs to him. So quota means for this lifetime, Krishna has given you something. And that also you should use it in the spirit that it belongs to Krishna. And use it for Krishna's service. So we can polish our consciousness to an unbelievable degree. It's not that I have polished my mind. Okay, I'm good. I have now understood. No. It is a bottomless ocean. You can go on diving. You will never reach the bottom. So we should always try to purify ourselves. If we think I am sufficiently pure, then I should be highly polluted to have such a thought. Oh, I am now much more pure than so many others. Then I am falling. I should realize that. So Isavasyam principle is to practice for a whole lifetime. Nothing belongs to me, nothing belongs to me. Like a parrot, I can say this. But I will continue to retain the sense of ownership in me for many things. So it's a practice of a whole lifetime. So next it says, if you follow this Isavasyam principle, then karma will never catch you. Karma na lipyate. It will not catch you. You can go on living for hundreds of years happily. Karma will not catch you. Karma catches the moment you claim ownership. The moment you claim proprietorship, enjoyership, controllership. Karma catch you. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasa ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. Krishna says in Gita. Prakriti is doing everything. Your body is Prakriti. Your grass body is Prakriti. Your subtle body is Prakriti. Your jiva is also Prakriti. Prakriti kriyamanani. Of course, he is not referring to jiva. He is referring to the external and internal, that grass and subtle body. They are Prakriti. She is controlling everything. Who am I? So, but ahankara vimudhatma. Ahankar means I and mine. That's called ahankar. I and mine. Aham mama. This is ahankar. That foolish soul thinks I am the proprietor of everything. I am the doer of everything. Like that it thinks. So that is the point. If you overcome that principle using this Isavasyam principle, if you overcome this wrong way of thinking, then you can live for 100 years without karma touching you. But if you violate this principle, the soul will be driven to the darkest regions of hell, which is filled with ignorance. You will go into more and more ignorant forms of life, like that. Then we saw about the contradictions which are within God. If you can recollect some of these, any one of you, someone who has not spoken so far. We
That is-
covered up. Yeah.
Krishna is within and without. The
Ah.
contradictory. He is
That is
within and without.
Yes. And another thing, anyone
Nirguna,
else?
Prabhuji?
Huh?
Nirguna.
Nirguna. No. I mean, in these two slokas, what did we see?
Slow.
Other contradictions. Krishna is farthest, he is also nearest. He is within everything, he is outside of everything. He is fixed in his place, but he comes ahead of everybody else in a race. He displays the highest excellence. He is in his world, spiritual world, but he is controlling the demigods who give rain and wind. Even though he's there, but he's controlling every little movement here. By his immanence, he's present within everything. He is present there in his spiritual world, but he's also immanent in everything in this material world. Immanent means spread over everything. He's present. That's why the moment Prahlad said, yes, my Lord is in this pillar, instantly when Hiranyakashipu broke that pillar, the Lord came out of that. Because the Lord is immanent everywhere and he can manifest. The moment Draupadi cried with her hands up, the Lord supplied immense amounts of cloth. From where did he fetch it? He became the cloth, actually. The Lord became the cloth and suffered and protected the honor of Draupadi. Like that, the Lord is present everywhere and he can manifest instantly anywhere, from any place. But he's also present in his spiritual world where he's enjoying with his pure devotees all the time. He is never leaving. Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gachet. You see, we all have read in Bhagavatam that at the age of around 12, 14, Krishna left Vrindavan, saying, I will come back. I have some unfinished business in Mathura. I will finish that and I will come back to all of you. But he never returned. That's what he said. But here Veda says, Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam na gachet. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. He never takes one step out of Vrindavan. Why? Because Vrindavan is a place where he gets his perfect happiness. Why he will leave Vrindavan? No other place gives Krishna that much happiness as he gets in Vrindavan. And Krishna is a supreme enjoyer. If he leaves Vrindavan, his enjoyment will diminish. So how it is possible that the Lord has a diminished enjoyment? Lord's enjoyment is always full. He is always in Vrindavan. Right? So the point is, all contradictions are there in this world of duality. This is the world of duality. Light and darkness, intelligence and dullness, health and sickness. We have all dualities here. If there is to be knowledge, there has to be ignorance. This duality is the feature of this material world. But in the spiritual world, there is no duality. There is no sense of past, present, and future in the spiritual world. There is time in the spiritual world. There is a sense of time in the spiritual world. But there is no past, present. How do you comprehend this? I'm only speaking to you words. But this is the fact of the spiritual world. Anyway, we saw that a couple of shlokas. Then what did we see? The real seer is one who sees the Lord in everything and everything within the Lord. So Isavashyam slowly taking you, to higher and higher levels of understanding. Everything is within the Lord. Don't think this material world is separated from the Lord. Vibhinna. This world is separate from the Lord. That is one level of understanding. But a higher level of understanding, this material world is also within the Lord. As we said, perfect. Purnam. This material world is also perfect. It is part of the Supreme Lord. So like that, you have to see the Lord within everything and everything within the Lord. Such a person is a real seer. Bhagavad Gita says, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Sunichena Swapakaicha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Samadarshinaha is a Pandita. Pandita means a learned person. Today, a Pandita is one who carries a doctorate in front of his name. He's an expert in some field. They say an expert is one who knows more and more about less and less until he knows everything about nothing. Today, the experts are like that. But a true seer, a Pandita, who is a Pandita? Samadarshina. He sees everything equally. A nugget of gold and a mud, a clay lump, he sees them equally. Same way, he sees equally his enemy, his friend, a neutral party, a supporting party, he sees all of them equally. He sees a cow, an elephant, a dog eater, a Brahmana, he sees them equally. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we come across the story of Kolaveja Sridhar. Just imagine the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Every day, he would go to this Kolaveja Sridhar, who is unknown to the world. He is known only as Kolavecha, means seller of banana leaves. Kolavecha, seller. His name is not known. Only the Lord knows his name is Sridhar. He is called Kolavecha Sridhar. Others call him Kolavecha. Who cares about his name? But Lord knows his name. And every single day, the Lord would visit his insignificant shop, which is his house cum shop. The roof has thousands of holes in it. So when it rains, more water is falling inside than falling outside. Full of holes. And his dhoti is also full of holes. And he doesn't have a needle. See, the details are given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I'm not making it up. He had so many holes in his only dhoti that he had no needle and thread to sew them, the hole. So what he would do, he would make a knot around that hole. And his dhoti was full of such knots. Chaitanya Charitamrita, the greatest literature, spiritual literature, has given so much details of this one insignificant devotee in our eyes, not in the eyes of the Lord. So much details are given. And the Lord would come to his shop every day. At that time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not displayed his glories as a great devotee of the Lord. He had not displayed. At that time, he was only a great scholar. Nimai Pandita, he was called. Great scholar, teacher. He was respected by everyone. Every student wanted to study under him only. A great Digvijay Pandit came. He had conquered scholars all over India. And he came to argue with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu defeated him just like that, so casual. So Mahaprabhu had great respect. But this Mahaprabhu, whose interview is sought by unlimited number of scholars, he would spend hours every day in this shop. And what he would do, he would bargain for plantain leaves, a plantain stem, or some plantain flower. He has only plantain, only this, in his shop. And Lord would argue, and Kolavecha would say, why you are bargaining with me? Why don't you go to another shop? He would say, no, when I have a good supplier, I know, and I won't leave you. And he would bargain, and take things at half price. And he would go. Daily he would come. And one day, the Lord displayed his magnificence in the house of Srivas Pandit. Only to his most intimate disciples, devotees, he showed his magnificence. At that time, he said, bring Sridhar. Nobody knew who is Sridhar. So he said, go outside the town, and where you hear this continuously loud sound of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go to that house. That is Kolavecha Sridhar. You bring him. So at that time, Mahaprabhu would tell him, you are a very rich person and you are hiding your wealth. Sridhar would say, Lord, you come and see my house. This is what I have. There is nothing. No. One day I will let the whole world know how wealthy you are. So, okay, there is a background. Now they go bring Sridhar. Up to now, Sridhar thinks Nimai Pandit. He doesn't know he is the Supreme Lord. Now he comes in front, and there on the altar of Srivas Thakur's house, the Lord is sitting as Mahavishnu with 4 arms. And he says, "Oh Sridhar, you have come. Ask me anything you want." Sridhar is falling at the feet. And he says, "I don't want anything, Lord." The Lord is saying, "No, no, no. You should ask me something. I am in the mood to give you. Should I make you the Indra of heaven?" He said, "No, no, I don't want. Shall I give you all the 8 mystic powers?" "No, no, Lord, I don't want. Can I make you the emperor of this whole world?" "Lord, be peaceful. I don't want it." "Lord, be peaceful." The Lord says, "I am peaceful, but I want to give you something. You ask." Then you know what he asked ultimately? Kalavaja Sridhar, does anybody know?
No, Prabhu.
Sridhar says, that Nimai Pandit who used to come to my house every day and bargain for hours, let him continue to come. Let me have his darshan every day. That's all, nothing more. And when the Lord said, "I will make you the emperor," he said, "Lord, I am seeing around me, I see a bird living in the nest with its spouse and its young ones in a small nest in the tree. And I see the emperor living in his palace. I don't see any difference. I don't see any difference." See, he's not making it up. He's speaking from the heart. Please understand, the words of pure devotees, please take them very, very seriously. Don't think it is made up. She says, "I don't see any difference." What about us? Do we see difference? Between a small bird in the nest and the emperor of the whole world, Sridhar sees no difference. See, he doesn't want any wealth. How is it? So see, that is a power of illusion. Sridhar is beyond illusion. He is an eternal associate of the Lord. That's why. You know, one day Mahaprabhu manifested his glories outside. And then he took a Nagar Sankirtan to the house of Chandkazi, who was preventing Sankirtan being performed in Navadvip. So he took a procession and he defeated Chandkazi, who said, "I will never disturb your Nagar Sankirtans. Let people chant at home. Me or my descendants will never give any problems." Then on the way back, with thousands of followers, Mahaprabhu came, you know where? Straight. He went to Kolavaja Sridhar's house. Till then, people did not know Kolavaja. Mahaprabhu went there straight away. And you know what he did? Kolavaja Sridhar had an iron mug, Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is considered superior even to Mahabharata. Supposed to be the highest literature written by Vedavyas. He had this iron mug. It was dented and bent and had holes all over, rusted. And this was the only container that Sridhar had for drinking, bathing, and for easing. Mahaprabhu went to his house. He straight away picked up that iron mug and he drank the water from it. And he said, "This is the greatest nectar I have ever drank." Kolavaja came running and falling at his feet. He said, "You have ruined me completely by taking water from this iron mug." No, Chaitanya Charitamrita says the mug was so bad that even a poor thief would not dream of stealing it. From that mug, Mahaprabhu drank. And he said, "This is the sweetest nectar I have drank." So please understand, between a pure devotee and the Lord, they think in the same way. Kolavaja thinks no difference between the emperor and a bird in the nest. And the Supreme Lord thinks this broken iron mug, the water in this mug is the sweetest water in the whole creation. Same way when Sudama came with a broken chipped rice, borrowed from a neighbor. So you can imagine, they would have given the worst. That he was keeping in his armpit, walking all the way in a dirty cloth. Krishna snatched it, opened it, and ate it. And he considered it very sweet. Right? That's the mood of the Lord. Then Vidurani, she peeled banana and she gave the peel to the Lord to eat, and he ate so very happily. And Shabari, she gave those fruits which she had been storing for such a long time, and all of them bitten into by her. He ate with so much relish. Lakshman was saying, "Oh Lord, what you are doing? This is Juta. How you are eating?" Lord is happily eating. So see, a pure devotee and a Lord, they have the same mood. There is no distinction. So that way, we saw that Samadarshina, seeing the Lord in everything and everything in the Lord. Such a person is a real seer. So that we saw. Now we come to the 8th shloka, which is having prepared us about God in so many ways. Now we are going to see what are his characteristics. An amazing shloka. Slightly difficult to read because I don't see any meter in this. So anyway, let us read it. Saparyaga chukram akayam abranam asna viram shuddham apapa vidham kavir manishi paribhuhu swayambhu yata tatyato arthan vyadadach chashvatibhyah samabhyah. Let us read again. Saparyaga chukram akayam abranam asnaviram shuddham apapa vidham kavir manishi paribhu swayambhur yata tatyato attan vyadadach chashvatibhyah samabhyah. This is the shloka. Actually, this shloka is completely adjectives. When you want to describe an object, you will describe it adjectives, correct? Here is a boy and he is a good boy. That good is the adjective. Boy, good, right? A rich boy, like that. These are adjectives. So here, it's a set of adjectives that explain God to us. So let us see what it is. And I will very strongly recommend to all of you to please read the purports of Srila Prabhupada. Of course, I am going to speak from that only, but still to read is to dive into this unlimited ocean of the Lord's opulences. So here is a translation. Such a person must factually know who. Such a person means what? Such a person whom we have described in the previous shlokas, who is equal. He sees everything equal. He sees the Lord in everything in the Lord. And in that way, he surrenders to the Lord. Seeing everything as belonging to God means including himself. I cannot say, why, except me, everything belongs to God. When I say everything belongs to God, I belong to God. When I belong to God, that means I surrender to him. A property must take the shelter of the owner. A cow and the owner of the cow. The cow is in the shelter of the master. A dog and its master. Master is a owner. A dog is surrendered to him. Like that. When I say everything is a property of the Lord, that includes me. That means I should serve my Lord. As a slave, as a servant, I should serve my Lord. If I have that mood of ownership, right from the beginning, Isavashyam, right? I belong to the Lord. I can be used by the Lord the way he wants. Right? An animal, some of the Vaishnava scriptures use words like this. I am an animal owned by the Lord. It's a fact. I belong to him. I am an animal. So what the animal can do, if the Lord beats, it will cry. It has no shelter else to go. Of course, the Lord is not like that. We have an excellent master. We have a master who wants to serve us. Where you will find a master like that? The master who wants to serve Nityo Nityanam, Chetanaha Chetananam, Kathopanishad says, Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kama. There are unlimited number of living entities. Among them, there is one living entity. Unlimited number of conscious living entities. Among them, there is one conscious living entity. What is the difference? Eko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kama. All the desires of all these insignificant living entities, he meets them. Since time immemorial, we will see that here in this shloka. Let us complete reading this and then we will go into the description more detail. Such a person must actually know the greatest of all, means greatest of Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, we saw like that. Greatest of all. Who is that? The personality of Godhead. Please remember, personality of Godhead is a person who is unembodied. He doesn't have a body like us. Omniscient, beyond reproach, without veins. Why without veins? That's an important point to note. Asnaviram. Asnaviram means he doesn't have veins. Means in our body, we have the circulatory system, we call it, through which blood is circulated throughout the body. And the blood carries the oxygen to the body to give energy and carries impurities from the body back to our respiratory system through which it is eliminated. So the circulatory system we have, that shows that our body is a machine. We have a circulatory, have you seen in a factory, there is a lubrication flowing all through the machine? The lubricant has to flow, otherwise the machines will rust or they will have too much friction and they will cease. There is a lubricant has to flow and the electricity has to be supplied, the motor has to run. Machine has so many parts, right? And there is an operator. Our body is like that. You see the construction. That's why in this shloka, they say, Asnaviram. The Lord doesn't have a body consisting of a circulatory system, nor a nervous system, nor a digestive system, nor a respiratory system, nor a elimination system. These are all systems which are contained within our body. Skeletal system to give the frame, to support the flesh and everything else. So this is a construction. You can see our body is a construction. Who made this? Material energy, Mahamaya. She's so powerful. She can create such structures for us. How many such structures she has got? 84 lakh. Depending on our karma, our unfulfilled desires, she gives us a body, which is a machine. So Krishna would say, Brahmayan sarva bhutani, yantra rudhani mayaya, Ishvara sarva bhutani, hrideshe Arjuna tishtati. Krishna is telling Arjun, hey Arjun, within everyone's body, Ishvara is sitting. Where? Hrideshe, in the region of the heart. The Supreme Lord is sitting. And the soul is thinking, Yantra rudhani maya. He is sitting on a machine. But he doesn't realize, he thinks I am the machine. Yantra arudhani maya. Because of Maya, he is sitting on a machine, but he's thinking I am that machine. So that is our body. Please understand, when you look at your body in a science textbook, you will see the skeletal system, the respiratory system, the digestive system, the circulatory system. All these systems are it's a machine. And the soul is inserted so that the soul can use this body for getting various experiences. And when the body is finished, Vashamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grishnati naro paradi. When our dress becomes worn out, we throw it away and take another dress. Like my father-in-law, he passed away 2 days ago. He was 89, almost going on 90. His body had become almost useless. He was still having a good memory. He would relate with us. He would nicely talk to us, but his everything else was weak. Hardly he was eating. He had difficulty swallowing. He had difficulty walking. He had difficulty even sitting up properly. So the body had become useless. We want that he should be there with us because we have exchanged so much love with him in the past. We want him to be. But we are not realizing, but he is suffering in this body. So changing the body was good for him. More especially if you are a nice devotee. If you have used your lifetime well to move away from material consciousness to God consciousness, you have used your lifetime well. Now you go enjoy something higher. Go back to home, back to Godhead, or take birth in a nice Vaishnava family in a young body. Perform devotion as much as you want. If you are born fortunately in a Vaishnava family, from childhood they will engage you in the service of Krishna. How amazing that life could be. We have to go through proper stages of brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha. How amazing it could be. So why you want to hold back the soul in a useless body? So Krishna says, Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya. The body has become useless. Vasamsi jirnani. It has become useless. So then, lavani krishnati naroparani. Then the soul goes and takes a new body. Like that. So this body, which is like a machine designed for our use, Krishna doesn't have a body like that. So he's with one adjective, asna viram. He doesn't have blood vessels. That is to show he doesn't have a body constructed by Maya Devi. He doesn't need. When the soul comes into this material world, it needs a body. The soul has a desire to enjoy this world. A desire to enjoy this world. So the Maya Devi constructs a nice machine and gives, okay, now you use. But the Lord doesn't need the help of Maya Devi for this. Why? He's unembodied. He doesn't have a material body at all. We will see that in more detail later. Beyond reproach is absolutely perfect. There's no defect in him. Beyond reproach. Okay. Omniscient, he knows everything. Past, present, and future, here, there, and everywhere, everything he knows. Pure and uncontaminated. He remains always pure. So we say, chant the holy names of the Lord all the time. The Lord's name is pure and purifying. Not only is it pure, but it is purifying. Anyone who is in contact with the holy name of the Lord, or anything which is in contact with the Lord, he becomes purified. So Lord Shiva is telling Parvati Devi, Aradhananam tu sarvesham, Vishnor Aradhanam param. Among worship of all kinds of devatas, worship of Vishnu is the highest. Aradhananam tu sarvesham, Vishnor Aradhanam param, highest. Then he says further, Tasmat parataram Devi, Tadiyanam samarchanam. But there is something higher than the worship of Vishnu. Lord Shiva, who is considered the greatest Vaishnava, he is telling Parvati Devi, Padma Purana, Tasmat parataram. But there is something even higher than worship of Vishnu. What is that? Tadiyanam samarchanam. Those who are connected with the Lord, you worship them. That is the highest. So like that, he is pure and purifying. He purifies. Shuddham apapa vidham. He is never contaminated. So, Shishashtakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Namnam akari bahuda nija sarva shakti tatrarpita niyamitaha smarane na kalaha. O Lord, all your energies you have invested in your holy names, and especially for Kali Yuga, the names are the redeemer for us. The Lord's names are the redeemers for us. We have to chant the holy names of the Lord. That is the only way that we can go back home in this, from this material world, we can become free. Tatrarpita niyamita smarane na kala. To chant your name, there is no time and place. There is no time which is impure. There is no place which is impure for chanting your holy names. Why? Because your holy name is purifying. We chant one mantra, during our, when we do our offerings to Pitrus, because when you are offering to Pitrus, you have to be very pure. You have to maintain a lot of cleanliness. You have to take a bath nicely, and in wet clothes, you have to wash the clothes, and you have to hang them in such a place that it will not be touched by anybody. And on the day of the Shraddha ceremony, again, you have to wear everything so cleanly. Everything has to be washed before the day of Shraddha, like that. There's so much of purity required there. So that kind of purity, which is required for such Shraddha ceremony and all, you don't need that for chanting the holy names of the Lord. Pitrus are very inferior compared to the Supreme Lord. Pitruloka is part of the material creation. Brahmaloka is much, much higher than Pitruloka. And beyond that is the Lord's world. But for Pitrus, you have to maintain so much cleanliness, impossible. I throw up my hands. It's not possible. But to chant the name of the Lord, we don't need. Chanting the name of the Lord is going to free you, liberate you from material existence, give you love of Godhead, go back to home eternally. Worship of Pitrus will not give you anything like that. But still, we are willing to take all the trouble to do Shraddha, because when my Pitrus are angry with me, then I may have problems. My children may have problems. So I want to keep them appeased always. Why to trouble the Pitrus? Give them what is their due. And so much trouble people take for going to so many places to perform, to keep them happy. Because astrologers are always telling, hey, you have some Pitru dosha. Either you or your forefathers have not performed Shraddha properly. Better you do it. But worship of the Lord gives you such infinitely great results, but people are not too enthusiastic about it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, oh Lord, your name is full of all potencies. There is no time and place prescribed for chanting of holy. Still, unfortunately, I don't have a taste for chanting. Nam Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti Tatrarpita Niyamitaha Smarane Na Kala Etadrishi Tava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durdaivam Idrishamiha Jani Nanu Ragaha. I don't have Anuraga, I don't have desire to chant your name, Lord. What should I do? So the advice is go on chanting to the best of your ability. Taste will come. Don't say, give me taste, then I will chant. That is nonsense. You chant and the Lord will give sweetness. You have to be patient. You have to have faith. You have to believe your spiritual masters. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is prescribing. Not only that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted all his life. So we have to chant the holy names. So that way, the name purifies. How? Chetor Darpana Marjanam Bhava Mahadava Agni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam Anandambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purna Mruda Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. This is the first verse of Sikshashtaka. Chetor Darpana Marjanam. Our consciousness is like a mirror. It has to reflect the Lord. It has to reflect the Lord. And the soul becomes so very happy when it reflects the Lord. But we have contaminated that with so many unwanted desires. So the mirror is so polluted, full of dust. And how to clean that mirror? This holy name will clean the mirror. So Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Cheto means consciousness. Darpana means mirror. Marjanam means cleansing, washing. So the holy name is the cleanser of the mirror of our heart. It cleanses. So we have to chant. There is no other way. There is no other way. So Brahma is telling to Narada Muni, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shodasagam Nam Nam, Kali Kalmasha Nasham. This Maha Mantra, which contains 16 names of the Lord. Iti Shodasagam Nam Nam, Kali Kalmasha Nasham. It will destroy all the ill effects of Kali. Then, Na Ataha Parataropayaha Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Brahma is holding all the 4 Vedas. Brahma says, I have studied thoroughly my 4 Vedas again and again and again. But Narada, as long as Kali Yuga is concerned, there is simply only one way, which is to chant the holy names of the Lord, these 16 syllable holy names. So like that he's telling. So we have to understand that Lord purifies and the Lord's holy name purifies. The best way to worship the Lord in Kali Yuga is to chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. That is a way to worship the Lord in Kali Yuga. You can't do opulent deity worship at home or in the temple. That was for Treta Yuga. Sorry, Dwapara Yuga. Dwapara Yuga, the Yuga previous to this one. That the prescribed method is deity worship, opulent deity worship. We cannot do it. The Yuga before that, Yajna, Treta Yuga. You have to perform Yajna, huge fire sacrifices. Pouring unlimited tons of pure cow's ghee, you don't get. And the prescribed wood and herbs, you don't get pure form because everywhere fertilizers are used. They are no longer pure. And you have to get Brahmanas. Where do you get Brahmanas? Brahmanas are all abroad. Brahmanas don't want to live in India. Anyway, they are not Brahmanas, that's a different matter. They don't like to live here. They want the comforts of other countries. So where do you get Brahmanas to chant? And even if you try to somehow get Brahmanas, they don't pronounce the mantras properly. They are not being trained. You need pakka training schools for them. You don't have such training. So unless the mantras are chanted properly, they won't work. The ingredients you don't get, proper Brahmanas you don't get, you don't have sufficient wealth to organize a yajna, you don't get proper ghee and other ingredients. What kind of age? That was for another age. And in Satya Yuga, people used to sit and meditate. You know for how long? 20, 30,000 years. Because in Satya Yuga, they lived for 100,000 years. Treta Yuga, 10,000 years. Dwapara Yuga, 1,000 years. Kali Yuga, 100 years. And that also continues to decline. Prayena alpa ayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge jana. In people of Kali Yuga, prayena alpa ayusha. Slowly, slowly their age will decline. Starting 100. Slowly, slowly. Prabhupada says a time will come when somebody lives for 20 years and dies. They will say, oh, he lived up to a ripe old age. A time will come. Everything will become dwindle. Energy. The trees will be stunted. Trees will be not more than 2-3 feet tall. Like that. So where is the hope? So we have to take shelter of the holy name. The Lord has made so very easy for us. We have to take shelter of the holy name. What is our problem? Our mind is the problem. That's no other problem. Durdaivam idrishamihajani nanuragaha. Unfortunately, I don't have a taste for chanting your holy name, Lord. So how to develop the taste for chanting holy name of the Lord? Third verse of Shikshashtakam. Trinatapi suni chena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. You should become humbler than a blade of grass. No expectations. What is the meaning of humble? No expectations. From anyone, any quarters. Oh, I don't deserve to suffer. No such expectation. Oh, I deserve to enjoy. I deserve to be honored. No expectation. Humbler than blade of grass. What else you can find a better example, metaphor for humility? You step on the grass will bend. You step away, the grass will stand up. That's all. It will never complain. Trinatapi sunicha. Tarorapi saishnu. The tree tolerates any number of insults. Tree tolerates. Cutting, breaking the branches, jumping on the branches, taking away its products, removing the barks. Doesn't complain. Tarorapi saishnu. Amanina manadena. Give respect to everyone. Don't expect from anyone. Don't expect respect from anyone. Give respect to everyone. That means you have to see yourself as the lowest. Seriously, inside your heart, you have to feel so low. Then what happens? Kirtaniya sadahari. Then you can chant the holy name always. So, on the one side, let us best start chanting now. Don't wait to become humble as a blade of grass. Start chanting. But acknowledge that I am not getting the taste only because of this is problem. I have to tolerate. I have to become humble. I should not expect any honor, but I should honor everyone. I should never criticize anyone. This is third sloka. Then, why do we have all these expectations? Further, the Lord says, Nadhanam, Najanam, Nasundarim, Kavitam va Jagadisha Kamaye, Mama Janmani Janmanishware, Bhavatad Bhakti Rahaitu Kitvayi. We should remove all these desires from our heart, all these material desires. Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim, Kavitam, Jagadisha, all this. I don't want wealth. I don't want followers. I don't want association of beautiful women. I don't want people to praise me and honor me. I don't want overlordship over great territories and people. I don't want. Then what do I want? Mama Janmani, Janmani Ishwari. Not only in this birth, life after life, I should be your devotee. That means I am ready to take any number of births also. I am not saying I will suffer this life, then Krishna, you take me back. Not like that. Mama Janmani, Janmani Ishwari. I don't care. Millions of births also. But I have only one request, my Lord, very humble request. What is that request? Bhavata Bhakti Ahaitiki Tvai. My bhakti should be unmotivated for you, always. Unmotivated bhakti I want. Not with any desire. How many of you love shopkeepers? Tell me. Yes? We
Yes,
love
Prabhuji.
shopkeepers? Huh?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
We love shopkeepers for what?
Because shopkeepers in the vendors I'm talking about, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Because those who sit in the sun and everything.
No, not like that. Shopkeepers give you what you want.
Whatever we desire.
Yeah.
We have sense gratification. Sense gratification.
That's it. I want something and they supply. But do we love them really? No. We give them the price and they give us the commodity. What do we want? It's a trade. It's an exchange, commercial. Where is love there in this transaction? It's a commercial exchange. Where is love? They supply, they have the goods and I have the price. I give the price, they give me the goods. There is no relationship. It's a mercantile relationship. There is no love lost. And we see God like that, that's our problem. If I go to the temple, I perform archana, coconut, 2 plantains, 2, 3 betel nuts, leaves, and some agarbatti, and some ghee. I offer to the priest and say, please perform an archana in my name. This is my name, this is my gotra. These are the names of my children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Please perform. And Lord, please, Dhanam, Janam, Sundari, give me all these things. Give me long life, give me good health. And I have paid the price. Coconut. That is the price I have paid. Is it love? No. God is a shopkeeper for us. So, Mahaprabhu is saying, I don't want that, Lord. I don't want Dhanam. I don't want Janam. I don't want Sundarim. I don't want Jagadisha Kavli. I don't want anything. Life after life, I just want to be your devotee, my Lord. Ahaituki, without any motive, I want to be your devotee. So that is the prayer. So we should have that mood. We should have that humility, tolerance, and not expecting respect, but respecting everyone. Then we can chant. If we chant, our heart will be cleansed. And if our heart is cleansed, Krishna will be reflected in our heart. And that means our business in this world is finished. We go back home, back to God. So that is what the message of Mahaprabhu. And when this happens, gradually, what will happen? When you chant the name of the Lord, tears will flow from your eyes. Unstoppably. You will get so much ecstasy from the name of the Lord. Today we are not getting the ecstasy only because of the pollutions in our heart. But even as you chant imperfectly, gradually the pollutions will be removed. So we have to put our best effort to chant quality rounds. But we have to chant first. Not that I will wait till I have developed a tolerance and humility, then I will chant. No, it will never happen. These are transcendental qualities. The tolerance and humility Mahaprabhu is talking about, these are transcendental qualities. They will come only when you chant. But while chanting, you have to put your effort, your emotions, you should try to invest in the chanting of the holy names. Because there is no difference between the name and the Lord. Non-different. So in that mood, we have to chant. So here, from this shloka, we saw, even though the Lord is unembodied, we should not come to the conclusion that the Lord is impersonal, formless, nirakar. No, that is not correct. Unembodied means he doesn't have a body designed for him by Mother Nature, material nature. He doesn't need it. The Lord has no distinction between self, body, and mind. It's one, like butter. There is no outside butter or inside butter or core of the butter. There is nothing. It is inside, outside, it is same. Right? So butter is the best example. Inside, outside, it's the same. So the Lord is like that. So when He comes in a spiritual form. And when He expands into so many forms, they're all spiritual forms and they're all one form. So we have to understand that even though the Lord has eyes, ears, nose, everything, but He doesn't depend on His eyes to see, ears to hear, and nose to smell. No. Every part of His body can perform the functions of all other parts of the body. Say when Krishna is going to the forest to graze the cows and all the boys, thousands and thousands of cowherd boys are sitting in circles around Him. Multiple circles, and Krishna is in the center. We think Krishna is in the center, so the immediate circle, He's very near to them. Second circle is a little far away from them. And unfortunately, the boys who sit behind Him, they are only seeing His hair. They are not seeing His face. This is our fault. We have a material consciousness. But no, every single boy is experiencing Krishna very, very intimately. Those who are sitting behind him, Krishna is facing them also. Krishna is facing them. Krishna is intimately interacting with them. If He cannot do that, He's not God. Let us understand. We say God is great, God is great, God is great. But what is this God is great? God is in a position to reciprocate perfectly with every soul in proportion to the level of surrender. And what is surrender? Love is called surrender. Please understand. Surrender, we think somebody is putting a gun towards forehead and says, hands up. It's not that surrender. We have misunderstood the name, the word surrender. If you surrender against your will, it's not surrender only. A man who is convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. You cannot convince people against their will. So surrender to the Lord means by understanding the Lord. By understanding the Lord, you love the Lord. When you love the Lord, you surrender to the Lord. A simple example of a mother and child. Can you tell who is surrendered? Mother or child? Newborn baby?
Mother is surrendered to child.
Mother is surrendered to child or child is surrendered to mother?
Mother is surrendered, Prabhuji.
But child is so helpless. Is it not surrendered? Any counter views?
Mother only, Prabhuji, because you had said it in the last class, Prabhuji.
Oh, I said it before. Okay.
Yes.
How did I explain it?
Actually, it is the love that she has for her child, Prabhuji. She'll take up any position for the baby.
Yeah. Mahaprabhu explains when the child passes stool on the hands or the dress of the mother, you know what the mother will think of that? She will experience it as a combination of chandan, aguru, and all perfumes. When the child is passing stool on her body, the mother will experience it like chandan, fragrant chandan, like that. Mahaprabhu says. Why it happens like that? It's love. So in love you surrender. That is really surrender. That is really surrender. So the mother will keep awake all night if it is not there. She will anticipate the child to cry and feed it even before the child will cry. She will surrender all her personal needs to keep the child happy. In return, what does she want? That defines surrender. Can anybody explain this?
Child's
Just
love,
love.
Prabhuji.
Just love.
What love? The
To be
child
loved.
plus newborn child. What love?
Newborn.
Yeah, unless you are conscious, you cannot express anything. The child is not even conscious that the mother is. What love? Huh?
She gains
is
some
a-
happiness.
It is a part
from
and
that.
parcel of the mother, Prabhuji, the newborn baby. So obviously she will have love. So unconditional love she has.
When she sees the child happy, when she sees the child happy and free from distress, she's happy. So the child's happiness is mother's happiness. She has no demand, no expectation. Is it not? It's a simple material example.
Yes, Prabhu.
The child is in no way to reciprocate. Please understand. Child is not reciprocating. A newborn child, how it can reciprocate? So she's not expecting any reciprocation, you see. Asrishyava padaratam pinashtumam adarshanan varmahatam kurutva yada dadava vitadatu lappadu mat prananataha tu sa eva naparaha. Mahaprabhu concludes the Shikshashtakam like this. Whether you embrace me tightly or you don't appear in front of me for ages, or you crush me under your feet to dust, in any situation, oh Lord, you are supremely independent. You are a debauchee. You can do anything you want, but you are my prananath forever. And no one else. Mat prananathas tu sa eva napara. No other. You are my master of my soul forever. That is the way to chant. That is ahaituki bhakti. That is ahaituki bhakti that we want. But is the Lord such a dictator that he wants that ahaituki bhakti from us? That he will not give us anything and he expects everything from us? No. Here it is said, the self-sufficient philosopher, he doesn't need anything. Is he self-sufficient? See the word self-sufficient? Philosopher means he knows everything. Self-sufficient. He is complete in himself. He is in need of nothing. But he has been fulfilling everyone's desire since time immemorial. We have become so-called devotees yesterday. I don't know whether we have become. We say we are devotees. But he has been fulfilling our desire since time immemorial. Like a mother and her newborn child. At least that's a better example. What about a mother and a hopelessly wicked child? The child is hurting the mother, hating the mother, rejecting the mother. But does the mother stop loving the child? We are like that. Since time immemorial, he is supplying our needs. See the shloka. I am not putting these words. It's here. That is what is called Nityo Nityanam Chetana Chetanam Yoko Bahunam Yo Vidadati Kama. We are so ungrateful. We are not willing to acknowledge the role of the Lord in our lives. For everything we want to claim credit. For everything we want. And if something did not work out, we look for something to blame. But anything good that happens, we want all the credit. We are nurturing that culture, you see, modern world. We nurture that culture everywhere. So we are encouraging duplicity. We are encouraging hypocrisy. This is the way of the world today. So what can we expect? So from this shloka, we have understood one thing. Lord does have a form, but he doesn't have a material form furnished by Mother Nature. He is complete like butter. His form is completely spiritual. And he knows everything and is absolutely perfect. So we should know never to blame God for anything. We should know never to blame God for it. And we should also know he's supplying our needs all the time. Once you become a devotee, you should never pray to him, at least try never to pray for any desire. What you feel as a need, you can pray. But you have to understand that Lord knows your needs better than you do. You know, you have seen LIC, two hands like this, and a lamp in the center. And below that something is written. What is written?
Yoga Kshemam Bahamya.
Who said that?
Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 9.22.
See how they plagiarized and took it to LIC? Does
Ananya,
LIC really does Yoga Kshema Mahamyam?
no problem. No problem.
But today everybody wants insurance. They don't want Krishna. You see,
Hare Krishna.
who doesn't want insurance today?
Devotee,
We all
devotee.
want Prabhuji.
Medical insurance, life insurance, accident insurance, property insurance.
As a mercy of the Lord.
Because we don't want Krishna. Krishna also says Yoga Kshema Mahamyam. LIC also says Yoga Kshema Mahamyam. We believe LIC nonsense. We don't believe Krishna. That is a tragedy. That is our tragedy. So unfortunate. So let us as devotees try and strengthen our faith in Krishna. Automatically we will lose our faith in insurance. You see, step by step it is happening. They broke up the family institution. They broke up marriage, the sanctity of the concept of marriage. They destroyed the responsibility of parents to children and children to parents. Joint family went long ago. And they are increasingly making people sense gratifiers. Nobody is willing to serve others. So with this, insurance becomes necessary because everyone is afraid. Who will take care of me? I did not take care of my parents, so I don't expect my children to take care of me. So everyone is afraid. And now insurance is big business. Right? So you see, everything has consequences. But the world is perfect. Purnamada, Purnamida. Material world is perfect. But we experience imperfection because of our own imperfections. The world is a reflection of our inner imperfections. That's all. It is perfect. It is so perfectly designed to reflect our imperfections everywhere. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to tell his disciples, don't find a hole in others' character when your own character is riddled with as many holes as in a beehive. You have seen a beehive? In beehive, there are only holes in a beehive. So he says, you are riddled with so many holes. Why do you find a hole in somebody else's character? So like that, we have imperfections which we project on the world around us. As more and more we give up our imperfections by surrendering to the holy name, then we will increasingly see the world as Purnamidam. We will see completeness in the world around us. Thank you very much. We will end the class with this. Hare Krishna.